If you're a parent looking for a home in the city of Toronto, you may be trying to figure out which schools are relevant for that specific property that you're considering purchasing. Or if you already have a home, you may be wondering which schools your kids would be going to should they enter the school system. For this video, we're going to break down how to figure out which public schools or Catholic schools are relevant for the catchment area on where exactly the home is located. And I'll show you exactly how to figure that out on both the public and Catholic school side. If you ever want to discuss your plans when it comes to Toronto real estate, click on that first link in the description or scan the QR code and book a call at a time that works for you. One of the most common questions I get when I'm working with families is which schools are relevant for the specific properties that we're looking at. On the flip side, I also have people that come to me that say, I am only looking for a property in X area because I want my kids to either stay at a certain school or to go to a specific school in that area. So let's take a look at how to search which schools are relevant for those properties. First up, let's start with the Toronto District School Board, and this is the public school side. And we will discuss the Catholic schools as well. If you go to tdsb.on.ca, you'll get to the Toronto District School Board website. And at the top here in the right corner, it says find your school. So click on that button and then you'll come to this page here that says find your school. Now there's two options. You can either search by school name, which is here. And if I just move myself out of the way there, you can either search by school name on the right or by home address on the left. And they actually have a really great search tool here on the TDSB website. You click on search by home address, then it says here, find school by address. One thing to note is that it mentions do not add the street number, street type, or punctuation. So I thought about a couple different streets we can try as an experiment. And the first one we'll start off with a street called Windermere, which is a pretty popular street if you're in the West End. It goes from Lakeshore all the way up to Dundas. So you'll see a few different school catchments along the way for that specific street. If we just type in Windermere and click on search, this will give us a list here of the relevant schools for the area. Now, what's interesting is that it does give you the street numbers and ranges. So for example, Windermere Avenue, 6 and 8 even numbers, 9 only, 12 to 354, 15 only, and so on and so forth. The other thing you'll be able to see when going through this website is where exactly those school catchments end and where they change. And believe it or not, this may have a big factor when it comes to Toronto real estate and pricing for those specific pockets. If you are looking on the south side of Bloor, so if we take a look here, so basically from Windermere house number 6 up to 359. If we take a look here at the map, so High Park obviously is here, and then going here to the west side of High Park is Windermere, and this goes into Bloor West Village, which is here between Runnymede and Jane, and then North Bloor West Village, which is north of Annette, and south of Bloor is your High Park Swansea area. If we take a look and zoom in on Windermere, we can start to see those house numbers, and basically 359 here is essentially the top of this area, which cuts off at Bloor. And if we go back to this school map, this says here up to 359, your elementary school would be Swansea Junior and Senior Public School. Your intermediate school would be Swansea Junior and Senior Public School. Secondary would be Humberside, and technological programming would be Western Tech. But once you get north of Bloor, that changes over to Runnymede Junior Senior Public School for elementary, for intermediate, Runnymede Junior Senior Public School, secondary, Humberside. So it does change the elementary and intermediate schools. And then as you get north of Annette, that's where you get over that 724 number. The elementary school becomes King George, the intermediate school becomes Humbercrest, and the secondary school becomes Runnymede. So it's actually 3 totally different schools than what you see south of Annette versus north of Annette there. And that's just one example. And you could take a look all throughout the city if we wanted to try maybe a different street. So let's perform another search. One of the most popular areas in the city of Toronto from a school district area is John Wanless. And if we look at a street, for example, like Woburn, which goes from Bathurst over to Avenue, this will show here how if you are closer to Yonge, so basically from Yonge going to the west there, elementary is Bedford Park, intermediate Bedford Park, secondary Lawrence Park, and technological programming is Northern. But as you continue going west, that's where you get the John Wanless Junior Public School, then Glenview Senior Public School, and then Lawrence Park is the secondary school. Now, what's interesting is once you go to the west of Avenue, that does change over the elementary, intermediate, and secondary schools. And you can do this all throughout the city, different streets. So if you are considering looking for a specific property in a specific area, you can type in that street name and see whether or not the house or property you're looking to consider does fall within that school catchment. Let's jump over to the Toronto Catholic District School Board, and you can go to tcdsb.org. And on this website, once you click on the Toronto Catholic District School Board, it says here school registration. This website is definitely not as easy as the other website. What you do is you first click on admissions and then you scroll down and it will say here school registration. And this basically you have to select each one to figure out which schools are relevant. So if you look at elementary school, you have to click on elementary school, then slide down here, and it does give you some eligibility, some key dates, and fixed attendance boundaries. Now, one of the challenges that I found with this website is you don't really just plug in an address and see which schools are there. You actually have to go into the map and figure that out. So once you click on elementary school locator, this will actually just bring up a huge map, and you'd have to zoom in pretty good. So if you are looking, we use that example on Windermere. If you are looking for a school in the Windermere area, Bloor West Village, there's a few different options here. You can see St. Pius X, James Cullinan, St. Cecilia. But once you click on one of these schools, it actually will give you a yellow highlight of where exactly that catchment area is. So one of the differences public versus Catholic here, for example, if you are looking in this Bloor West Village area, south of Annette is a little bit different on the Catholic side. It's actually Ardagh, which is the furthest north point of this catchment for St. Pius X. And then if you change over to north of Ardagh, which in this shows here how you have to exit and then go back in, then you get into more of a James Cullinan area, and you click on this one. And once you click on it, then it'll give you the different catchment there for that area, Bloor West Village. So just a different way of searching, and definitely a little more challenging because sometimes it is easier just to plug into a name. If you're looking at one of the most prominent areas here for Roncy, you click here on St. Vincent de Paul, and then you have to click here on the left side, and then it will highlight that entire area of what exactly falls into the Catholic school catchment there. An important note, this is an entire map of Toronto, so you can do this all over the city for a specific area. So try to figure out a way to make this a little bit easier. And actually what you can do is go to hoodq.com/Michael Ouzes Real Estate, and you'll get onto this website. And this is totally free. You can literally just go on and click around. If you click here in the top right corner, there's a button that says schools. So once you click on schools, you can actually just type in a specific area, and they use Riverdale here. Let's actually just use Riverdale as well and see, we can use North Riverdale. Click on the button, and then you'll get all this areas for the school guides. It'll tell you which schools are available. So there's 10 public schools, 4 Catholic schools, 1 private school, and it does give you a list of each one. And then it's sliding down, it will show you here on the map which one falls within which area. So this is North Riverdale, so that's the pocket. If you click on one of the schools there, it will show you the breakdown of the catchment for each school just based on all of these options. So this is a great tool. It kind of blends both the Catholic and public schools all together. So really a good way to see what that looks like. But just for that second layer of making sure everything's totally accurate, I would also go to either the public school website or the Catholic school website to make sure that it's exactly that catchment, because I figure those would get updated in real time. And while these I'm sure would as well, I'm not 100% sure on that. So just go and triple check based on those locations on the TDSB or TCDSB websites. So that's the way you can search for a particular school in a particular area. And for this video, I didn't really want to go through any of the school rankings or anything like that. You can always take a look at the Fraser Institute if you wanted more school rankings. However, I hope this video showed you exactly how to find schools in whatever area of the city you're looking for. And if you did want some help in searching for specific school areas for the property that you're looking for, click on that first link down below, scan the QR code. I'd be happy to help. I'm Michael Ouzes. Thanks for watching.